when Fleetwood Mac came home off the first tour, that's when I really realized that I was no longer just a fan, that, you know, that I was going to have fans.
Baby, you come knocking on my front door.
Were Stevie Nicks to have a religion, we'd all follow it.
She's infinitely beautiful.
Yes,
she's
really
the ultimate goddess.
She's magic. Stevie Nicks is magic. There's something very magical about her. Everybody loves Stevie. It seems like everyone loves her so much.
Stevie Nicks rocks!
She's the greatest storyteller that's ever lived.
Stevie fans are the best fans. Stevie definitely
They are
has
the
best
best.
fans in the world.
We
Joe
have
Pro even knows that.
It's great to be playing for the best fans on the planet, Stevie Nicks fans. It's hard to think about what you wanted.
I just believe that my fans are like the coolest, you know.
I may be the biggest fan Stevie Nicks has got in the whole world.
Stevie Nicks is very devoted to her fans. If I can show a little devotion of my own in return for that, I think it's worth it.
What I really connect with Stevie is that sense of magic that she has. I find mystical things interesting because it's just a different world.
From a guy's point of view, Britney Spears is a girl that you would like to have sex with, but Stevie is a woman you would like to make love to.
I'm surprised that more people don't dress like her. The types of fabric she wears, you know, velvet, chiffon, and lace, you know, those are great materials. When you dress up like Stevie, it's kind of like you're a star.
Welcome to our party. Welcome.
I am such a music fan, you know, and music is, other people's music is so important to me. I saw Jimi Hendrix once. I did take things from him. How flamboyant he was, how that fringe was flying and everything, you know. It's like, I absolutely took that from him. You know, Janis Joplin, how she mostly always had the microphone right in front of her, right on the stand without taking it off. She just did her whole little show right around that microphone. I've always done that. I don't ever take the microphone off and walk away with it. I kind of got my how to phrase from Joni Mitchell and my how to like really seriously kick it from Aretha Franklin. Grace Slick, a very cool, like this just really cool, beautiful babe at a cocktail party. That's what she reminded me of. In the middle of this rock and roll thing, there was this kind of cool Grace vibe. And so I liked that too, you know, so it's like a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, and see, and you mix it all together and you do come out with something that's very different from all those people. But yet in my heart, when I'm performing, I'm thinking of them always.
I'm getting older too.
I would think that a fan of mine would be somebody who was partly looking for the music and partly looking for that little fairy princess kind of fantasy thing.
My name is Bear. I'm 34. I live in Decatur, Georgia, and I'm a big Stevie Nicks fan. The first time I heard Stevie Nicks was in 1977. I was 10 years old, and my parents came home with a copy of Rumors and put it on, and I immediately fell in love with Stevie's voice. I would sit for hours with the little lyric book and read over the lyrics and look at the pictures, and that was it. It was all over from there. The first time I really took notice of Stevie's clothes and her style was on the Mirage Tour in 1982. I remember her on stage singing Gypsy, and she was wrapped in this black shawl or jacket, and it was sparkling red.
The first night of Fleetwood Mac, I just took a suitcase of clothes. I had pulled everything out of my suitcase and realized there wasn't one thing in that suitcase that I wanted to wear on stage that night. And as of that night, I decided I had to make some sort of a uniform up because I couldn't possibly worry that much about what I was going to wear every night. So I just kind of, you know, designed a skirt and a top and got the platform boots and kind of went with that and just added stuff to it so that it was very easy. And every night you don't really have to make too many choices.
I think a lot of us like to dress up as Stevie to go to her shows, mainly because it's a real tribute to her. I started to make Stevie clothes for my friends and just kept going from there. I came online and joined a Stevie Nicks mailing list, and there were posts all the time from people asking where to get Stevie-type clothes.
Stevie fans, a lot of us like to dress like Stevie, and it's very hard to find those clothes at the mall.
So I sent a post myself that I was going to start making Stevie clothes.
I was Bear's first client. The thing I wanted most was a Rhiannon skirt. I needed that ultimate black chiffon. Yeah, the staple.
Every Stevie outfit.
You have to have it. It just goes with everything. And a few weeks later in the mail, I got this beautiful black chiffon skirt. And we've been best of friends ever since.
My company's name is brandystream.com. I've been in business since 1996, and I can't even count how many things I've sold.
Living with a Stevie fan can be, at times, perhaps a bit overwhelming.
Mara's pretty tolerant of my Stevie obsession and the decorating.
Perhaps there's a little bit more chiffon dangling off of random objects in the house than I'd care for.
She's not exactly the shawl-type person.
And definitely not negative to Stevie herself, but I gotta say, the fans are high maintenance. High maintenance with the hair and the makeup and, 14 levels of clothing for, like, going to the grocery store or something.
I would think that a Stevie Nicks fan would be somebody who, first of all, loved my songs. And then they might like the skirt, the chiffon skirt, the platform boots, the fun things. I put together that whole thing all those years ago. I tried to make it really fun for myself also.
I'm thirsty, I'm wild-eyed in my misery.
It's nice to be able to express yourself in different ways, and I think clothes and dressing up like that really brings out different aspects in your personality.
I would hope that my songwriting would have still broken through even if I had decided on a really unattractive outfit. If I had just not ever thought of anything special and just wore whatever came up that night, it might have made a little bit of a difference. I hope it wouldn't have.
A typical day for me is to get up, I go right to my computer and turn it on, and I load in all of my email. I got one new order overnight, which I'll print out, and then I have 59 messages to read. When I'm done reading my email, I make my long commute to my office. What a commute. This is where I work. To make a full outfit generally takes about a day.
You can make a nice skirt out of that. Wow.
My clientele are very diverse. It's not just Stevie fans, so that is mainly where the work comes from. I've done some weddings. There's a lot of Stevie ladies out there that want to wear something like that to their wedding, which is really cool. My favorite part about running my business is the joy that I get when people email me and say, I got your outfit, I wore it to a Stevie show last night, I got so many compliments, and the night was just amazing because of it. That's what makes it really worth it for me. The highlight of my professional career was when I got asked to participate in an indie movie called Gypsy 83.
Todd contacted me first. He asked me if there was any other source to get Stevie-style clothing, and of course, Bear. So I put him in touch with you.
So Todd called me the day before my birthday, which I just thought was great.
It's about a girl named Gypsy who loves Stevie Nicks. Sarah Rue, who's the star of the film, she plays Gypsy, and she and her best friend Clive travel from Ohio to New York City to attend the Night of 1,000 Stevies.
I made some things specifically for Sarah with her measurements.
Like the Night of 1,000 Stevie scene, she's wearing this white outfit, the white chiffon belladonna.
Right. And also for the stand-back treadmill scene.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So that was great. And the best part, though, was getting to actually be in the movie.
Oh, that was amazing. There you are.
Night of 1,000 Stevie!
Oh, that's your dress. There I am. There you are.
I would really like to perform here tonight, but I missed the audition.
There's Sarah. Oh, she looks so good in that white outfit you made and my burgundy cape.
The true Stevie fans out in the audience here tonight will recognize this version.
I think Bear's obsession is from a much purer emotional state, a true connection with the music rather than with an ideal, I guess.
I think the overall message I get from Stevie's music is that they're very hopeful. So it seems like anything that is bad in your life, you can go through it too. And listening to her songs takes away the badness, just makes it much easier.
I hope that when they hear my words, they get something out of it, because in my music there's always some hope. I don't ever want to write anything that leaves people with no hope.
It's definitely not that I want to be Stevie, because I don't. Even though I dress like her, I don't want to be her. If I did, and I'd miss out on being me.
I've been a fan for 20 years.
And I've been a fan for 15 years, and mother-daughter team, we always go together.
This is my daughter, Stephanie. She's named after Stevie Nicks. And this is our big bonding night here, because this is our first Stevie concert together. So we've been looking forward to this for a long time.
I was adopted as my biological mom, so 28 years.
So 28 years. I haven't seen him.
Stevie Nicks brought us together. I asked him to meet me here at Stevie Nicks because Stevie Nicks rocks and we rock. Greatest drug in the world.
Yep.
Stevie Nicks.
When I joined Fleetwood Mac, I was 27, almost 28. So in a year, when that record did so well, the Fleetwood Mac record, that means that I know we had fans that were close to 50. Now I'm 50, so there must be fans out there that are in their early 70s.
I'm Jim. I'm 68 years old. I'm a college professor, and I'm a brand new and devout Stevie Nicks fan. She's really changed my life. I teach chemistry, the introductory level, and also upper level chemistry, this vertical column. But let me come back a moment to the elements.
When I think of a Stevie Nicks fan, I think of someone my age, not Dr. Langsford. He just does not fit the mold, but undoubtedly she's got him captivated.
Well, my students are really quite surprised when they find out that I'm a Stevie Nicks fan, and that always brings some smiles and laughter in the classroom. The one thing that Stevie offers me in my life that was missing before is the fact that I have an escape. That's where I can go now and enter a world that she creates that is so totally different from the world that I normally function in, which is so strict and frankly somewhat boring at times. Noble gases, neon, argon, krypton, think about those. In the smoke puff experiment, I like to think of that as the emergence of Rhiannon rising to the sky. Up she goes! Well, I have to make this round trip several times a week between St. Andrew's Presbyterian College in Laurinburg and Richmond Community College in Hamlet. Stevie's really like my co-pilot. I play the music pretty loud. In fact, I've blown out one of the speakers.
So I try to say goodbye, my friend.
My favorite song is Storms. It's the song that has had the most meaning to me. The lyrics to it apply to my life. The title of the song and the fact that it deals with a stormy life, and mine certainly has been stormy.
I've always been a storm.
And it deals with a problem in connecting. As Stevie discusses in there, I have not dealt with the road.
Deal with the road.
She continues on to say, so I try to find an answer there so I can truly win.
So I can truly win.
I found for the first time that I was really paying attention to what she was trying to say. And that began to open the door to my realizing that, you know, she is speaking in a language that will help me understand my daughter.
He has tried really hard to keep the connections between him and his daughter. And one way that he found out that they had a lot in common, and it was through Stevie Nicks. He said, this is going to bring us together, and it's going to keep the communication lines open.
I pretty much ran away in 1993 and upset my family a great deal.
Well, there was a period of 10 years where we had just absolute bare minimal communication.
It's almost as if we became strangers.
Time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too.
My recollection of Jackie growing up was that she was one of the sweetest and cutest kids. There's one with your mother, and of course Basil, and this is you with your brother. This is a picture that's really terrific. So I was the scientist, and still am, of course. She was the dreamer.
And still am.
Yeah. So here we had this conflict. I couldn't see the dreamer side, she couldn't see the scientist side. So a year ago, on Father's Day, she called me to wish me a happy Father's Day. But it was obvious from the tone of her voice and the fact that it was clear to me that she was disturbed. I sort of heard a daughter crying out for help.
Unfortunately, I found that the only thing I could do is numb myself, and I would take pills and I would drink.
And that was what really triggered my realizing that I've got to do something. You know, I've got to find some way to communicate with her. There's one thing that Jackie has always loved, and that was Stevie Nicks. I asked Jackie to send me some videotapes, and man, did she ever. FedExed a box full of videotapes. I went through them all over again, was up virtually for 12 hours doing nothing but watching those videotapes.
Blue-green colors flashing, I would be your only dream.
A lot of things went wrong in my life, and I made a lot of mistakes. I've tried to be really honest about those mistakes with everybody, and I've tried to be really true and good now, you know, and I got through all that. So if I'm any kind of a role model, it's like I survived. You know, I am a survivor.
When we connected on Stevie Nicks, it was like a miracle, just poof.
You can talk to me.
It delighted me that for the very first time in my whole life, I could actually offer this man some information.
I've been going to Stevie Nicks University, and you have been my teacher.
Before I knew it, he was an obsessed.
Right.
I don't think fan is the word. I mean...
The only thing I have more of than diplomas are Stevie Nicks pictures. And I've only been a fan for 1 year. The most significant item in my collection to this point is this Rhiannon print, which Stevie graciously signed to Jackie and her dad. Love Stevie Nicks. That meant so much to Jackie and me. It's really our proudest possession. Here I have my video collection. As I've collected them, I give them grades, just like I was grading a student. So you'll see grades here ranging from an A down to maybe a C-, because the video quality does vary. considerably, and it has nothing to do with Stevie. Stevie's always A+.
The concert that we're going to go see, and it's going to be my 5th Stevie Nicks Fleetwood Mac concert. It's going to be my father's very first concert ever, and he got us the tickets, and he sleeps with these tickets underneath his pillow.
I would love to see her perform Edge of 17, especially at the end when she uses the tail end of that to be able to walk around and accept gifts from the audience and that type of thing. So I like that one a lot.
I have great fans. They're very wonderful to me, and I feel very comfortable totally putting myself in their hands.
Stevie has provided that mechanism by which I have discovered the dreamer side in me.
That's what I'm so thankful for, is that he actually found it in his heart to open up. I didn't think you were ever capable of doing that, to tell you the truth.
I've gotten wiser. What's happened between the two of us is so huge.
Stevie gave me my father back.
And she gave me my daughter back, too.
But time made you bolder. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. Just like the white bird sings a song as soon as she's singing.
Music has the ability to really change the way you feel about yourself or about a day or about something that's gone wrong, or it can cheer you up. When I'm getting ready to go on stage and something's gone wrong during the day and I'm not in a very good humor or I'm sad about something, I put on other people's music and I let that music bring me back up, and it does every night.
My name is Keith. I'm a 28-year-old steelworker from Baltimore, Maryland, and I've been a fan of Stevie for about 4 years now. The first time I heard Stevie Nicks, I was going to work and I just heard it on the radio, and it was Gold Dust Woman.
Make you cry, make you break down, shatter your illusions of love.
It was just like she was real and someone that could sing, and I thought it was incredible. To me, it's real important if people are honest and straightforward. I don't like the games and the smoke and mirrors and all that kind of stuff. Just tell it like it is. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And that's the same thing with Stevie's music.
As a writer, I decided a long time ago that I would tell the truth. Because if you tell the truth, you'll never get into trouble. If somebody breaks up with me, I'm not going to write in the song, I broke up with him. It's like I made a sacred oath that I would tell the truth when I put these songs together. And it's always worked for me.
When I first started working at Bethlehem Steel, it was kind of different. I never worked in that type of industrial environment, and to me it seemed like almost like a prison. You were fenced in, you went in, you couldn't leave till your shift was over. I've done a lot of different jobs. Right now I'm operating this remote control crane box. Here's the controls. It's like a video game. Pretty simple. Lift it, drop it. You probably noticed there's all kind of sirens and horns and mill making noise, everything. So it's kind of hard to hear. You got to shout over each other. That's why it's nice to sing Stevie songs to myself. Before you know it, it's lunchtime and then it's time to go home. Guess we're gonna go find some of my co-workers.
I listen to a lot of Metallica, Godsmack, Creed.
I listen to a lot of older music, Pink Floyd and The Doors.
Yeah, I think you're seeing more of the tattoos on the younger generation.
I got a Celtic cross on the elbow, got a Viking on the back with a Viking head coming up out of the smoke.
I got this when I was 18, when I was in the military.
Being in the military too, I got my death wings on my chest.
Mine are a little different from everyone else's. They're not military related, music related, Stevie related. This is her in the center with a night bird and holding a Celtic cross, and not work or braids on the side. So
See, that's why I never play this game.
We've been together for almost 10 years in September. I actually don't listen to Stevie Nicks. I don't mind her. I just don't care for rock pop. I listen to mostly show tunes. When Keith first started liking Stevie Nicks and buying her CDs, I thought it was just a phase, just like all the other ones that he goes through.
There you go.
Before Stevie Nicks, Keith listened to mostly Bob Marley.
I actually dreaded my hair and everything.
And then he graduated into sort of Creedence, Clearwater, John Fogerty.
I even got the Creedence haircut.
And then he graduated into Stevie Nicks.
I can't do a Stevie haircut. I think Stevie Nicks for me is not just another passing hobby.
He's a little bit obsessive. He never halfway does anything. He does it all the way, or he doesn't do it at all.
Here's a cabinet, my curio cabinet, with just a bunch of stuff. Most of it's stuff you can buy, songbooks, albums. This is a reprint of her high school yearbook. There's a nice picture in here of her playing a guitar in 1966.
He's not going to get another cabinet. Anything else he buys will just have to be stored in the basement. Keith has changed a lot since he's discovered Stevie.
Back before I was a Stevie fan, I used to have a bit of a short fuse or temper. Little things might get me real angry, losing a key.
If he had a spot on a shoe or anything just really strangely small, he would get upset.
There's a little line from one of her songs from the 1981 Belladonna album, and in the song Think About It. There's a little line in that that said, take on the situation and not the torment. And that's not anything new. I mean, I've heard that before in a different way. It didn't really click, but when I heard the song, for some reason, that was it. I think about that song every time things aren't going right.
Stevie Nicks, through her lyrics, talks to him about staying calm and keeping peace with himself.
I didn't have any tattoos before the Stevie ones.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Yeah, that one's gonna hurt. Yeah, we definitely want to consider keeping the face out of this, what I call the ditch area there.
In my misery,
When Keith came home with the first Stevie Nicks tattoo, I just couldn't believe that he actually did it. When Keith got the second tattoo, I thought, oh my goodness, he's really going over the top. And now that he's getting the third one, I can't believe it. I just hope that he doesn't get a fourth one.
Sometimes Kim can get a little jealous about it, and, you know, there's like 3 of us in the bed or something, so.
I wasn't really jealous of Stevie Nicks. I was jealous about the time that he spent worrying about Stevie Nicks. That's pretty. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
The more I thought about it, the way Stevie is devoted to her fans, to everyone, and my appreciation of that devotion, I thought, well, I'd like to do something in return. It's just a way of showing my appreciation, and also something for me so I'll never forget, because it's permanent.
I would have to say, just be very careful when you make the decisions about what you do in your life. You might be sorry later.
Well, this is how the third one turned out here, and I'm really happy with it. Within a day or so, all the redness will go away and it'll be perfect.
Is it over now? Do you know how? Pick up the
I think, in my kind of strange way, that Stevie, she's like a closest thing to an angel down here. A typical Stevie fan might be a girl that likes to dress up like her and likes the wispy shawls and all that kind of stuff. But here again, you have a steel worker. He likes her just as much as she does.
Together a little Stevie Nicks tribute band called the Magical Chiffons. Stevie got me over my phobia of singing.
We're inspired by Stevie Nicks.
basically.
Yeah.
And we did our own kind of versions of Stevie Nicks songs. We grew up on Stevie, for one.
I feel a strange kind of cycle pull from my fans that comes around every couple of years, you know. Sometimes I'm more interested in what's going on in their lives, and sometimes I'm having to really concentrate on what's going on in my life so I can write it down and make the songs that I'm going to send out to them.
I'm Daniel, I'm 27 years old, I live in Foster City, California, and I am a passionate Stevie Nicks fan. If there were no Stevie Nicks, my existence would probably be pretty dull. I live in Foster City, which is a calm, family-oriented city where the shrubs are nicely trimmed. Quite a contrast from San Francisco, where I usually go to have fun and hang out with my friends.
Gypsy is my favorite Stevie Nicks song because it is in part about San Francisco, a really great town. San Francisco really holds a very special place in my heart. And Stevie too, you know. For Stevie, this is pretty much where the dream began.
For me, San Francisco is all about the music. When I think of San Francisco, I think about deciding that I wanted to be a rock star. And then the whole San Francisco music thing was happening, so everybody was musical. You know, the world was really musical in those couple of years.
I work at KCSM. I'm the promotions and web content coordinator.
Our own radio station, KCSM FM, is all jazz, and it's the only station out of 65 or so in the Bay Area that is jazz.
It's always a little weird when you're like this big rock star and you work for a jazz radio station.
What do you think of Stevie Nicks?
Who's he?
My coworkers think my Stevie fan worship is crazy. I don't think I would fall into what typically is a Stevie Nicks fan. I don't know too many Asian guys or girls who are really into Stevie. I live with my parents. I would say my family is traditional. Obviously there's that kind of clash between kind of old school and new school, and definitely felt that kind of growing up.
I'm Wayne, I'm Daniel's older brother. I guess I'm ultimately responsible for Daniel's fandom since I brought Stevie Nicks into our parents' house first.
I have a room devoted to Stevie memorabilia.
It used to be the family room.
Now it's the Stevie Annex. It's kind of a reminder for me, kind of a visual reminder of where she started and where she ended up. It's a good kind of cross-section of the whole Stevie experience. I'm especially fond of the early Fleetwood Mac Stevie era. I love the whole hair thing in the mid to late 80s. That was definitely cool. And I think Stevie got a little more adventurous in her outfits in that time too. Definitely a rare, precious time. I knew early on that what she was writing about was real. Those feelings and emotions conveyed into her songs, kind of weaved into poetry. All that kind of made it that more intriguing to me, and I was able to understand myself a little better. I am going to throw a fan party for Stevie Nicks called the Wild Heart Affair. I've been planning the Wild Heart Affair for about a year now, and I can't believe it's finally here. Okay, a million things to do. Gotta pick up the cake. Florist comes at 4. Gotta pick up the fabric. Gotta meet the caterer. Planning the Wild Heart Affair is a lot like planning a wedding. I feel like I'm getting married to Stevie. Oh my God, just so much going on here. He was supposed to be here like an hour ago.
Okay,
and
okay.
hasn't shown up yet, so
all right.
I'm kind of freaking out about that.
Okay, cool. Okay,
cool.
Yeah,
So
calm down. Everything's fine.
It's kind of my way and the fans' way to thank her for the years of great music and sharing all these personal thoughts through her poetry and her music with us, with the fans. Final preparations. Cool. I'm going to put on the classic Rhiannon outfit that Bear made for me.
What's going on behind that door right now is a physical process. But once you talk to him, once you see the way he moves, once he's on stage with his music, he is someone else. Stevie would be proud. He embodies her.
Stevie can't have stubble. I think what Stevie kind of taught me through her music is that you can kind of embody so many different personalities. I mean, you have so many sides of yourself, so many personas, and that's cool to express kind of all of them. I've always wanted to be a star. Wow, that's really good. The transformation is complete. I am now Stevie.
I wonder sometimes how little old me could have caused this much of a ruckus.
Thank you for coming to the very first Wild Heart Affair, San Francisco's tribute and birthday bash for legendary singer Stevie Nicks.
I think it's terrific that people want to have a party and use me as an excuse to have the party. You know, I've never been to the Wild Heart Ball. I've only heard. If my music brings people together, then I'm delighted.
I am in good company tonight with fans from all over the country who have come to celebrate Stevie's birthday, her music, and her mysticism.
Happy birthday, Stevie!
Happy birthday, Stevie!
We have a lot of wild and fun things planned. Among them are a lip sync contest.
I think of Daniel's love of Stevie as pure, unconditional love. I have never known anyone in my life that knows so much about a celebrity as Daniel does.
We also have a lookalike contest, which is actually a costume contest. The Wild Heart Affair was the first time I actually met Bear, who I had been just talking so freely with for many years, and to make that connection at the Wild Heart Affair was wonderful.
I just won the Stevie lookalike contest. Out of the finalists, I made 3 of the outfits, including mine, so that was great for me to be honored so many times for that.
I just want to thank you guys just all for coming and making this possible. I mean, yeah, so thank you.
Daniel is the man.
It was totally worth all the hard work to have so many people there enjoying themselves and doing it in honor of Stevie. And the feeling remains even after the glitter fades. Oh, the feeling remains even after the glitter fades.
Fleetwood Mac didn't ever think of President Clinton as the ultimate fan. We just thought that it was wonderful that the President of the United States liked our music.
You're a big fan of Stevie Nicks.
And what?
No?
And what?
And is there a story or something? How were you first exposed to Stevie and become such a big fan? All right, all right.
I have never been exposed to Stevie. This young guy who's 20 years old looks at me and he says, you know, Governor, I think you're going to run for president next year. And if you do, this should be your theme song. This kid's 20 years old. And he puts the tape in and starts playing Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow. True story.
It was wonderful to be loved by the President of the United States. It's like, how cool is that, you know? All right, you guys, I just want you to know that I appreciate you so much to come here, to be here.
The show was out of this world. It was like nothing I've ever seen before.
It was great. It was great.
I'm tired. I'm thirsty.
You know, honestly, I think she's just getting better with age. We're about the same age, her and I, and if I could just live like her when I grow up.
I'm still a fan of Stevie's after all these years. It really just became part of my life through all of these years. I don't see how I could possibly stop. It would be like losing half of myself.
I used to think that the phrase, "you can't teach an old dog new tricks," was true. But I think I have proven that that isn't true, because certainly I'm an old dog and I have been taught some new tricks.
I think Stevie Nicks for me is not just another passing hobby, because it's been going on for quite a while now, and I still feel the same now as I did the first day.
I definitely want to be a fan until I die. You know, if I'm able, if I'm physically able to move about and you know, if Stevie's still around, then I'll definitely follow her.
In the darkest times, when you think that you have absolutely nothing, there's her voice.
My fans are real, like, you know, soft-hearted people. And they like to give me sometimes a lot of credit for stuff that I probably don't deserve. But it's that I'm really in their life. And that's what I wanted, you know, that's why I wanted to do this. I love you.
He led the band that set the sound of the 70s. Lindsey Buckingham behind the music. Next, only on VH1.
Woman taken by the sky. Would you stay if she promised to you heaven? Would you even try? And he said, Rihanna, don't go. And he said, Rihanna,